So fine guys, good evening guys, good evening everyone, and welcome back once again to Rio Academy. So today I'm conducting the class guys, both on YouTube and also on the app. Okay, that is Rio app guys. So all those among you who are watching me especially for the first time on YouTube guys, I'd like to welcome you again, a warm welcome on behalf of the entire team of Rio Academy. So today onwards the classes on app are being started. This is going to be the first class. Okay, so trigonometry guys, this is the topic that we are going to be looking today. Nonetheless, before starting up with today's class, I'd like to welcome Kirti and I'd like to welcome Lakshmi. Thank you guys for joining in, and all those guys who are watching me, who will be watching me on YouTube. Once again guys, as you already know, Rio Academy has been providing its services for the field of PGCET for a long period now. So quite an experience with each and every educator, so that we are going to use in order to guide you, so that you'll be able to come up with a good rank in your PGCET examination. Okay, and those who are watching us for the first time on YouTube guys, check out the previous videos. I've uploaded certain more videos for the upcoming batch, that is the 2024 batch. So results for the past month examination have not yet been announced. Nonetheless, will be announced within a week now, anytime. So before starting up with the class, let me just inform you something regarding myself guys, and I hope it is visible. So any problem with the technical issues, please let me know in the comment section guys. Okay, see guys, I'm an engineer by profession. Okay, professionally I'm still an engineer, and I'm an educator by passion. Teaching field has been an interesting task for me, so I've entered into this field. It's been about 6 years now that I have been going on with the education services here at Rio Academy. So UPSCs, KPSCs, not just the public commission examination, but also the banking examinations, banking sector. Okay, sorry, the banking sector examinations, CA examinations, and so on. This experience I'll be using in order to guide you all to your specification. Okay, okay, fine guys. So today we are going to be starting up with a topic called trigonometry. So PGCET MCA examination, only for MCA trigonometry part is included. Trigonometry is not at all included for MBA. In trigonometry today we are going to look at the basic part guys. Of course, this once again is not at all a new concept, a new topic to you, but we are going to discuss about the basic variations and what is it that we are going to learn in trigonometry. Okay, so now as the name suggests guys, say let me just initially tell you, Pythagoras is a mathematician. I hope you already remember him. If I take in a triangle initially, and I'm going to tell you why we always consider triangle. Whenever it comes to trigonometry, we speak about triangle. Now initially the question comes as to why triangles, why not a square, why not a rectangle, and so on. Okay, but before that, as I told you, Pythagoras theorem. Pythagoras was a mathematician. This is a very famous theorem, Pythagoras. So what did he say? That is, the square of hypotenuse will be equal to the square and the sum of other two sides. Correct? If we consider a right angled triangle, okay, just a minute guys. Okay, I'll just consider a triangle here. Okay, this is a triangle. Of course, it's not a right angled triangle. In just a small format, if I consider, this is a right angled triangle. I'll take this to be A, B, and C. So what Pythagoras he suggested is, AB square will be equal to AC square plus BC square. Okay, this is just a theorem. Initially, Pythagoras, this we believe that there was a mathematician. We don't really know exactly whether he really was, because there is no mention of him in the back history. Okay, we are not going to go into that, but nonetheless, Pythagoras, he always considered his theorem applicable only to a right angled triangle, and always remember this is applied only to triangles, correct? So why only triangles? Why not many other shapes? Mathematics has numbers of shapes, right? Circle, quadrilateral, square, pentagon, hexagon, and so on. So why only triangle? See, first of all, if I consider any element, I'll take this to be a building. Okay, consider this to be a building. I'm just explaining you the basics as to why we are going to deal up with the trigonometry. Suppose this is a building. It is made up of different variations of materials. Okay, for example, it is made up of stone. So what is stone made up of? We want to study what this stone is made up of. Suppose we have a stone, let me say about 4 centimeters and 2 centimeters, a rectangular form of a stone. I want to know furthermore details about this stone, what it is made up of, or how I can further divide this stone so that I could build up a proper good shape. Okay, so furthermore studies, what we do, we just try to cut it out, correct? We just cut this element into number of equal parts, okay, or unequal parts, and we just try to look into it. Microscope is an very important tool in respect of biology. So what do we do here? We especially study the microorganisms. What we do, we just keep on dividing them. Here in case of mathematics, once you start cutting out, triangle is the basic form of the shape that we are going to get. Okay, finally, triangle is the basic form of shape, and always remember this is the basic shape. See, point, it is just a point, and the line, basically we can say line is a combination of 2 points at least, correct? A line has a number of points, but at least we need 2 points in order to form one line. And now if you want to form a figure, if you want to form out a shape, we at least need 3 lines, correct? If we have 2 lines, then it will not be a shape. 2 lines will create an open figure or an open structure here. What we are looking for is a standard figure that we can take out to be a shape, and we can express that shape in this particular form, and we are going to study it out. Complete rectangle, we are dividing it into the smallest shape or smallest part, and that smallest part is nothing but a triangle. Okay, so tri means 3, angle means angle, that is the space in between 2 lines. Okay, so triangle is the basic form of the shape that we are going to study out. And now coming back to these names of trigonometry, see, sine, cosine, and tangent, these are the basic functions of trigonometry, correct? And please remember, they are functions, they are not just name, they are functions. So you should be able to understand what a function is. That I'll explain it to you in one more different concept. Today I'm just going to explain you what are these basic names that we especially use in trigonometry. Okay, so see here, sine, cosine, and tangent functions are always applied to triangle. We are not going to apply them to any other shape, because triangle is the basic figure. Now what does sine mean here? These sine, cos, and tangent, these are nothing but ratios. Okay, they are nothing but ratios. Ratios of what? Suppose if I consider a triangle. See, I'm just going to consider a triangle here. Okay, I'll take this to be a right angled triangle. Okay, this definitely is a right angled triangle. Let this be A, B, and C. Now this I am going to consider an angle theta. Theta is just an alphabet. It can be anything. Greek alphabet theta. You can also call it as A, B, C, or anything that you want. But basically from the beginning and up till now, Greek letter has been used. That is why we usually represent angle in form of theta. Okay, so theta is the angle here that we are considering. The side opposite to this angle is considered to be the opposite side. Okay, why? Because it is opposite, hence it is known to be the opposite side. And the side that is adjacent, that is connected to this theta, is known to be base. And why base? Because it is the base, it is the part on which the complete triangle is standing or has been formed. Okay, it is also known to be the adjacent side. Adjacent, what do you mean by adjacent? Adjacent means at beside. Adjacent ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಪಕ್ಕದಲ್ಲಿ ಇರುವವರಿಗೆ adjacent ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. So this theta is an angle and this side is beside of this angle, hence it is known to be adjacent, or it is also known to be base. And this is known to be the hypotenuse, which is the longest side or largest side in a right angle triangle. Okay, so now if I take in the ratio of this opposite side AC and this hypotenuse BC, okay, this is the ratio. See, what is ratio? Ratio is nothing but comparison. Whenever two quantities are being compared, then it is known to be a ratio. For example, if I have 2 kg of rice and then I have 5 kg of sugar, okay, then how do we compare it? We can very easily say it is 2:5. It means there is 2 kg of sugar and 5 kg of rice, or 2 kg of rice and 5 kg of sugar. So this sign here, double dot, is such that basically in mathematics it is known to be 2 divided by 5 ratio. Okay, this is basically the comparison. I'm going to explain you furthermore why 2/5 and what is all this about when we start up with the topic of ratios in short. Okay, so now coming back to this part here, AC divided by BC. What is this? This is actually the ratio. Suppose if our side AC is 3, okay, suppose, let us assume that the side AC is 3, then the side AB is 4. We are going to assume that. We already know, guys, 3, 4 and 5, these are Pythagorean triplets, correct? These 3 lengths or these 3 sides form a Pythagoras. They completely satisfy the Pythagoras theorem, hence they are known to be Pythagorean triplet, correct? So now AC is 3 and BC is 5. That is the longest side, right? So BC will be 5. Okay, forgive me. So BC is 5. Okay, now just remember, I know that you already know that sine is equal to opposite upon hypotenuse and cos is equal to adjacent upon hypotenuse. I'm just trying to tell you why sine is opposite upon hypotenuse and why cos is adjacent upon hypotenuse. See, solving of problems here, it is not at all a problem. Each and every student will be able to solve all these questions provided if time exists. What you have to do is you have to manage time, and that you can only do once you understand the concept and then you keep on practicing. Okay, if you just focus on shortcuts and if you just focus on tips, you will never get to a point that you will be able to solve all these questions within a prescribed amount of time that you are expecting to solve, or even within less than that. Okay, so now coming back here, see, AC upon BC, that is 5. Okay, and now I'm going to take another ratio. I'll take in AB, okay, and AB is to BC. I'm going to take that. AB is to BC. Now we already know, we have assumed AB to be 4, correct? Pythagorean triplets, so 3, 4 and 5. So 4 upon BC. What is BC? BC is nothing but once again 5. Okay, now once again I'm going to take in the ratio AC upon AB. Okay, I'm taking the ratio of AC is to AB. These are nothing but ratios. If I can just write it down here, AC is to BC. ಇದರ ಅರ್ಥ ಇದು ನಾವಿಲ್ಲಿ ತಗೊಳ್ತಾ ಇರೋದು ರೇಷಿಯೋವನ್ನು ತಗೊಳ್ತಿದ್ದೇವೆ. So then here AB upon BC is nothing but AB is to BC and then AC is to AB. We are just taking the ratios. This is not at all something extraordinary thing here. Trigonometry, many of the students believe that this is a completely different topic. It has jumped in somewhere. because whenever you complete your high schools and come back into your pre-university level, that is the main stage where you come across a trigonometry. So many of the students really get confused, so that is why I'm just trying to explain what trigonometry is about. Okay, so we are taking out the ratios now. What the trigonometric functions are, they are just the names. Trigonometric functions are nothing but the names. See here, I am taking the ratio of AC, which is opposite, right, opposite to this angle, and then BC, which is nothing but the hypotenuse. So any triangle you consider, not just only a triangle with these lengths 3, 4 and 5. Consider any triangle, let it be a triangle 100 times larger than this. Okay, let it be a triangle 10 times smaller than this. Any triangle, these ratios that we are seeing, these ratios will always turn out to be same. These ratios will always turn out to be constant. ನಾವು ನೋಡ್ತಾ ಇರುವಂತಹ ಈ ರೇಷಿಯೋಸ್ ಏನು ಬರ್ತಿದಾವಲ್ರಿ 3/5 ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ, ಈ ಎಲ್ಲ ರೇಷಿಯೋಸು ಸೇಮ್ ಆಗಿನೇ ಬರ್ತವೆ, ಫಿಕ್ಸ್ಡ್ ಆಗಿ ಬರ್ತವೆ. ಓಕೆ, ಸಿ ಐ ಆಮ್ ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ಲೇನ್ ಯು ಹೌ. Sine is a name, it is a nameless, just a name given. Okay, ಏನೋ ಒಂದು ಹೆಸರನ್ನು ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಸೈನ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ. ಸೊ ಇನ್ ಶಾರ್ಟ್ ವಿ ರೈಟ್ ದಟ್ as sine, correct, sine of theta. So what does this mean? Whenever an angle theta is given, then sine of that angle represents the ratio of opposite of the triangle to the hypotenuse, correct. Whenever, in case of any triangle, whenever an angle theta has been given to us, this term sine or this name, which is also called to be a function, okay, sine of this angle gives us the ratio. Ratio of what? Ratio of the opposite side to this angle to the hypotenuse of the particular triangle. And what is opposite here? Opposite is nothing but AC. And what is hypotenuse? Hypotenuse is nothing but BC. Okay, so sine theta is hence given to be opposite upon hypotenuse or AC upon BC in case of this triangle. Okay, this you already know, this is the standard formula. But this theta, suppose if theta is 30 degrees, okay, suppose, let us assume, ತಿಳ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ ಈ theta 30 degrees ಇದೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ. Okay, so ಅವತ್ತು we already know the standard formula. Sine of 30 degrees is equals to 1/2, correct. This is the standard and the fixed value, we already know that. So what does this value actually mean? It means that whenever, in case of a triangle, if the given angle that we are considering is 30 degrees, if this angle theta is 30 degrees, then the ratio of opposite to the hypotenuse will always be 1/2. Okay, ಯಾವತ್ತು ನಮಗೆ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರುವಂತಹ ಟ್ರಯಾಂಗಲ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಮ್ಮ ಆಂಗಲ್ 30 ಡಿಗ್ರೀಸ್ ಇದ್ದರೆ, ಈ ನಮ್ಮ ರೇಷಿಯೋ ನಾವೇನು ತಗೊಳ್ತಿದ್ದೀವಲ್ರಿ, ಆ ರೇಷಿಯೋ ಫಿಕ್ಸ್ಡ್ ಆಗಿನೇ ಇರುತ್ತೆ 1/2. ವೆದರ್ ದ ಟ್ರಯಾಂಗಲ್ ಬಿ ಆಫ್ ದಿಸ್ ಸೈಜ್ ಆರ್ ವೆದರ್ ಇಟ್ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಬಿ ಲಾರ್ಜರ್ ಆರ್ ಸ್ಮಾಲರ್, ಇಫ್ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಅ ಟ್ರಯಾಂಗಲ್ ಇಟ್ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ಟು ಒಬೇ ದಿಸ್ ರೂಲ್. That is what the importance of these ratios are. Okay, and in the same way guys, we know cos of theta already. Okay, standard format you already remember, or you already might have by hearted this. So cos of theta is what? Adjacent or base divided by hypotenuse, correct. So what does this cos mean? Whenever the angle is theta, okay, whenever an angle theta is considered and we want the ratio of the base of that triangle to the hypotenuse of that triangle, okay, when we want the ratio of base to the hypotenuse, then that ratio has been given a name, and that name is nothing but cos. Okay, theta of course represents the angle. Okay, so cos of theta is equal to base upon hypotenuse. Now we already know that whenever the angle theta, if it is 30 degrees, okay, if the angle is 30 degrees, Then cos 30 degrees, we already know it is root 3 upon 2, correct? Root 3 upon 2. So what does this mean? It means that in case of a right angled triangle, if the angle is 30 degrees, then the ratio of the base to the ratio of the to the hypotenuse, the ratio of the base to the hypotenuse will always be root 3 upon 2. Okay, ಯಾವುದೇ ಟ್ರಯಾಂಗಲ್ ತಗೊಳ್ಳಿ, ನಮ್ಮ ಆ್ಯಂಗಲ್ 30 ಡಿಗ್ರೀಸ್ ಇದ್ದರೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಬೇಸ್ ಮತ್ತು ಹೈಪೋಟೆನ್ಯೂಸ್ಗೆ ರೇಷಿಯೋನ ನಾವು ತಗೊಂಡ್ರೆ ಆನ್ಸರ್ ನಮಗೆ ಯಾವತ್ತು ರೂಟ್ 3 ಅಪಾನ್ 2ನೇ ಬರುವುದು. ಓಕೆ, ಐ ನೋ ಗೈಸ್, ಯು ಮೈಟ್ ಬಿ ಗೆಟಿಂಗ್ ಕ್ವಶನ್ಸ್ ಆಸ್ ಟು ವೈ ವಿ ಆರ್ ಟೇಕಿಂಗ್ ರೇಷಿಯೋಸ್, ವೈ ರೇಷಿಯೋಸ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ವೈ ದೀಸ್ ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡರ್ಡ್ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂಸ್. ಇದನ್ನು ತೊಗೊಂಡ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ನಾವೇನು ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ವಾಟ್ ಈಸ್ ದ ನೀಡ್, ವೈ ಶುಡ್ ವಿ ಲರ್ನ್ ಇಟ್, ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ವಾಟ್ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಟು ಡೂ ವಿತ್ ದಿ practical form, or what it is to do in life, okay, apart from just the examination. Okay, I'll just tell you that. So now coming back to the third trigonometric function. Okay, these are known to be the trigonometric function: sine, cos and tan. Then there are another three, I'll come back to that. So tan, now what does tan represent? Tan is the name given to the ratio. Ratio of what? Ratio of the opposite side of the triangle with respect to this angle. Okay, ಈ ಆ್ಯಂಗಲ್ಗೆ ಅಪೋಸಿಟ್ ಇರುವಂತಹ ಸೈಡು ಮತ್ತು ನಮ್ಮ ಬೇಸ್. ಓಕೆ, ಈ ಎರಡು ಸೈಡ್ಸ್ಗೆ ನಾವು ರೇಷಿಯೋನ ತಗೊಂಡರೆ ಅಂಥ ಒಂದು ರೇಷಿಯೋಗೆ ಟ್ಯಾನ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಹೆಸರನ್ನು ನಾವು ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೇವೆ. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ನಾವು ವಿ ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ ನೋ ದಟ್ ದಿ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಆಫ್ tan of 30 degrees, guys, is nothing but 1 upon root 3. Okay, tan of 30 is equal to 1 upon root 3. Okay, so now I think this is very clear. Sine, cos and tan, these are nothing but the names that have been given to the ratio. Okay, so now the question comes, why is it these ratios are important? What should we do? Okay, so see here, I'll just take another triangle here and I'll just try to explain it to you. Okay. So those whoever is watching me on YouTube, guys, like the video if you are able to understand. If not, then please let us know in the comment section. See, one of the student had given me a really wonderful comment, guys. He said that trigonometry becomes very complicated and he wanted to learn it in a very easy way. Okay, see, let me initially tell you guys some important point. One of the most important point that many of the students don't really focus on, okay, in the world of competition. That is, I'm talking about the competitive examination. And always remember, compete only with yourself, because you are struggling only with yourself. Okay, see here. See, if you only focus on tips, you will never be able to clear competitive examination, not just your PGCET, any of the exams. Okay, getting your good rank here and then jumping out into a good college and getting into a very good career. Apart from that, in your entire life too, please don't focus on tips initially. Tips comes with experience, guys. This comes with experience. I hope each and everyone among you already knows who Ramanujan is. Okay, a famous mathematician from India. He is from India. Okay, Ramanujan. Whenever it comes to Ramanujan, there is a theory that still has been going on. Okay, many of the scientists, many of the mathematicians still follow the rules that have been given by Ramanujan. Why is that so? Why am I telling you about Ramanujan? ನಿಮಗೆ Ramanujan ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಹೇಳ್ತಿದ್ದೇನೆ ಅಂದರೆ, see, Ramanujan, he would be able and he is able to answer. If he was alive, he would have answered each and every question within seconds. Okay, yes, that is really great. But what many of the students don't really focus on is, while he was in this stage of learning, he was always in the state of learning, but as he was in his school and high school level and all that, he used to write upon walls, he used to write upon doors, he used to write upon roads. Okay, he was very busy. Why am I telling you that? Because he was continuously in a state of learning. ಯಾವತ್ತೂ ಅವರು ಪ್ರಾಕ್ಟೀಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾನೆ ಇದ್ದರು. Apart from that, he was always thinking about was mathematics. And then he came to this stage that he never needed all these concepts. Okay, he would be able to solve each and every question within his mind. So what I'm trying to say, please don't focus on tips initially. Tricks and tips, and they will never get you far. Just understand, practice, you will come to a stage that will build up your own tips and tricks. Okay, that requires terrible and continuous rigorous work. Okay, so fine guys. See, now coming back to this trigonometric function here. No. See, is my voice clear, guys? Lakshmi, Kirti, Diya, is my voice clear? Can you guys hear me clearly? Hello? Let me know in the comment section, guys, as to whether you can hear me clearly or not. Yes, guys. Okay. We can, yes, sir. Okay, fine, now, fine. We ain't able to hear you clearly. We are able to hear it clearly. Okay, fine, now. Okay, thank you, guys. Susi, as I was talking about what, yeah. Okay. Okay, see guys, I was talking about why these ratios are important. See, these points will never be asked in your examination. Okay, initially, let me make it clear. These thoughts might be coming to you as to why they are explaining all these points when they'll never be asked in the exam. These are very important if you want to solve the questions in exams. Okay, so see here. See, now we already know, like I told you, if the angle is 30 degrees, the sine of that angle is 1 upon 2. Okay, here the angle is 30 degrees, let me take that, and here also the angle is 30 degrees. Okay, this is opposite and this is hypotenuse. We know already that sine of 30 is 1 upon 2, and sine of 30 will also be 1 upon 2 even in this case. Okay, this triangle is 10 times greater than this. Just assume that this is 10 times much larger than this triangle. So now we know this ratio 1 upon 2. When we know this ratio, we can use this value in order to find the lengths of the given triangle. Okay, suppose here it is given as 1 and here it is given as 2. The side here is 1 meters and then here it is 2 meters. Here it has been already given as 5 meters. Then what will be this length? We already know the value here. We already know this ratio. It is not that we know it from table. Okay, now you already know it because you have already learnt and everything. You already have that table. We have by hearted these values, and then we are going to just substitute it. But initially, as we were forming it, these ratios had to be found. These ratios, these fixed values, ಈ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂಸ್ ಫಿಕ್ಸ್ಡ್ ಆಗಿ ಏನಿವಲ್ರಿ ಇದು ನಾವು ಐಡೆಂಟಿಫೈ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೇವೆ. ಅದಾದ ನಂತರ ನಮಗೆ ಇದು ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗಿದೆ. ಓಕೆ, and now whenever the angle changes on, suppose if our angle is 45 degrees, then the ratio is fixed, but it will be different. Here sine of 30 is 1 upon 2. Sine of 45 will be what, guys? It will be 1 upon root 2. Okay, it means that when angle is 30, the ratio is 1 upon 2. That will be fixed whenever the angle is 30. But when angle is 45, the ratio will be 1 upon root 2, and this once again will always be fixed independent of whatever the sides might be, however long or short it might be. These ratios will be always fixed. Okay, so then it comes to 60 degrees and then it comes to 90 degrees. Okay, now the question comes, why only 0 degrees, 30 degrees, 45 degrees, 60 degrees, 90 degrees and so on? Okay, why only these angles? In case of angles, guys, there are number of angles, 0, and we can keep on counting them. For our simplicity, we have just taken these to be standards. Okay, internationally we have accepted that 30 degrees we are to know the value, 45 degrees we are to know the value. Why? Because we can't keep on calculating each and every time the ratio. Okay, so these are standards, we have remembered that. Suppose if I ask you what is sine of 33 degrees, definitely this too has a value. We need to calculate that. That will be very complicated. Okay, so in order to avoid this complication, we have just gone up with the standard format and the standard values. Okay, so this is all the basic importance, and as you already know, sine cos and tan. These are the basic trigonometric functions. And then there are complementary functions. Complementary means the respective reciprocating part. Reciprocal of sine, guys, you already know that to be cosecant. Okay, cosecant of theta. And reciprocal of cos is nothing but secant of theta, and reciprocal of tan is nothing but cot theta. Okay, these are known to be the complementary angles. These functions. These functions are known to be complementary functions. See, complementary means in addition. It is on a wishing basis. Whenever you go on to a party, we say that compliments. Okay, we write up the compliments from us and he or she respectively. So why we say that whenever we speak about sine, we can always suggest the value of cosecant. If we have the value of cos, we can say the value of secant. So they are what? They are both connected. They are both interlinked. Hence they are known to be complementary function. So sine, as it says, the ratio of opposite to hypotenuse. Cosecant is nothing but the reciprocal, right? Reciprocal of 1 upon sine. So 1 divided by, see, 1 upon opposite upon hypotenuse. It will be in this fashion. So opposite and hypotenuse, this will completely turn out to the numerator. Then once again it will get reciprocated. So cosecant is what, guys? Cosecant is nothing but hypotenuse divided by opposite. Okay, just the reciprocating function. That is what the importance of trigonometric functions is. Okay, now I hope this one is clear. Now let me tell you, and let me initially ask you what the meaning here is. See, we already know. Let me just take in this. So I hope you are able to understand, Miss Lakshmi and Miss Kirti. If you have any doubts, please ask. Okay, those guys who are watching this on YouTube, guys, if you are able to understand, do like the video. If not, then please let us know in the comment section. Okay, so here. So now we already know that cos of 0 is 1. Correct. You already know that cos of 0 is 1. Now the question comes, why? See, we have already been learning this. Cos of 0 is 1, and then secant of 0, that will be 1. Okay, then sine of 0 is 0. Cot of 0, that is also 0. 1 upon 0, that will be infinity, right? So cos 0 is 1, sine 0 is 0, and then tan 0 is also 0. Infinity. Okay, now why is that so? Why is that so? Why is the reason? Tan 0 is also 0. Tan 0, 0. So now yadike now cos 0 1, tan 0 infinity, matte sine 0 0 anta helbodu. This is a very important part. Many among you don't really focus on. We just try to mug it out. Nonetheless, idakke ಒಂದು reason ಇದೆ. ಏನು reason ನೋಡಿ. ಈಗ suppose ನಮ್ಮ ಹತ್ರ ಒಂದು triangle ಇದೆ. Okay, suppose we have a triangle, guys. Okay, this is the triangle I am going to take. A, B and C. Now cos is nothing but base divided by hypotenuse. We already have gone through that. Okay, if this theta here angle, if this is getting on reducing, idu kadime aagtane hogta ide. Suppose theta here is 45 degrees. Now in the next case I am going to take this angle only, and theta will be 30 degrees. Okay, and then it is being reduced again. Theta is 10 degrees. Okay, and then I am taking theta completely to be 0. I am going to take in theta completely to be 0. So now I'll write in B here. This point B, B and B, it is also B, and this is point A, this is A and A, and this is C and C and C. But here, if you can see, point A and C both have been combined. Point A ಮತ್ತು C ಎರಡು merge ಆಗಿ ಒಂದೇ point ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಬಂದಿದಲ್ಲ. Correct. So here, whenever this angle theta 45 and then reduced to 30 and then reduced to 10 and then it has been further reduced to 0. So now whenever the angle is 0, the opposite side will be what? There is no opposite side here. AC 0 ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. Okay, the length of AC will be 0 when this angle turns out to be 0. It is logical, guys. Just try to imagine, if the angle here is 0, then this opposite side will not exist. Idu side iralla AC anta heli, because it has completely turned into a point A and point C. So now this hypotenuse is also the same line, and this base is also the same line. Correct. AC is 0. If in case of a triangle this length AC is 0, then AB and BC, they are both one and the same, right? They are both one and the same. So now according to the ratio cos, we know what, guys? We know base upon hypotenuse. So base upon hypotenuse, what is base? Base is nothing but this length BA or CA, CB. So BA divided by hypotenuse, that is also same, which is nothing but BA. So BA upon BA, same length, and that will turn out to be 1, and hence we say that cos 0 is equal to 1. Correct. That is the reason why cos 0 is 1. Now we already know sin 0 is 0. Why? Because sine function, we already know it is opposite upon hypotenuse. Correct. What is opposite here? Whenever the angle is 0, there is no opposite. There is no opposite sign. So AC is 0. So 0 upon anything will be 0, and hence sine of 0 is also 0. Correct. And now we know that tan 0 is 0. Correct. We know tan 0 is 0. Why? Because once again, tan is nothing but opposite upon base. There is no opposite here whenever the angle is 0. So 0 upon 0 will be once again 0, and hence tan is also 0. So that is the reason why we basically take cos 0 1, sin 0 0, and tan 0 0. Okay. So I hope that reason you have able to understand. Okay now. So these are all the basics, guys. In your PGCET examination, there are a number of questions. You don't have to understand all these concepts. See, you don't have to understand anything in order to top up any of the exam. Not just your PGCET. Take out any of the examination without understanding also, you can top it. There is not at all a problem, but that will require, a rigorous practice. So there are 15 questions. Okay, in case of PGCET MCA, there are 15 questions, and out of those 15 questions only, repeatedly each and every year they'll ask you 2 questions. Okay, now it is very easy that we give you those 15 questions of different concepts and ideas. You just practice them, you by head those questions, you go into your examination hall, same questions will come, you'll tick out the answers, and then you'll get good marks and everything and so on. That is a good choice. But if you are able to understand, then also you'll be able to solve all these 15 questions, then also you'll be able to get a good rank, and then in turn you can also get up with your life problems. Okay, so that is why I basically focus on understanding of concepts rather than by heading them. Okay, so I think this is clear, the reason as to why cos 0, sin 0, and tan 0 is 0. Okay, and if it is infinity, then definitely cot 0 is nothing but infinity. Why? Cot is nothing but reciprocal of tan. What is tan? Whenever the angle is 0, tan is 0. So 1 upon 0 is what? Infinity. 1 upon 0 is infinity. Any number divided by 0 is infinity. Remember that. And 0 divided by any number will be 0. Okay, this is very important. 0 upon any number is 0, and 1 or any number divided by 0 will be infinity. Now why is this infinity? Yadikre infinity barudu 1 upon 0 athwa any number by 0 infinity barudu yadikke andre 0 is an infinite number. We don't know the value of 0. We take it to be valueless. We assume it to be valueless. 0 ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಒಂದು infinite value ಇದೆ. ಹೇಗೆ pi ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದೆಲ್ಲ 22/7, just in same case or same fashion 0 has its own value. If you divide any number, suppose if you want to divide here 1 upon 0, right? If you want to divide 1 with 0, 0 into 1 will be what? It will be 0. correct? So once again 1 will be remainder, and then you'll once again take 0 into 1 is 0 and 1, and so on and so on and so on. So that way it is being represented here as infinity. Okay, I hope that one is clear. So now coming back to the sign conventions. Sign conventions, you already know that too, and I think you already have remembered some kind of abbreviations in order to know that in first quadrant all the trigonometric functions will be positive, and then in second quadrant only the sine function and the respective complementary function will be positive, and then in the third quadrant cos is positive, oh sorry, tan, right, not cos. Okay, tan is positive in the third quadratic function, and then cos is positive in the fourth quadrant. Okay, not quadratic, quadrant. So ASTC, this is the rule, and many among you already have remembered this, and I'm pretty sure that you will never forget this until the day you die. Okay, so now question comes, why only sine is positive in the second quadrant, and why only tan is positive in the third quadrant, why only cos is positive in the fourth quadrant? Okay, let me just take a simple example here once again. Okay, I'll just take it in this one. Okay, see here guys, in the first quadrant I'm going to take up a triangle. I'll just consider a triangle here in the first quadrant. Okay, suppose this is A, this is B, and this is C. So now if you can see, AB is on the positive side of x-axis, correct? This is x-axis, and this is also x-axis but in the negative form. This is y-axis, and this is also y-axis but in the negative form. Okay, so now if you can see here, I am considering a triangle in the first quadrant. So AB, this lies along the positive x-axis. It means AB is positive. Okay, from here to here, if you we take it to be plus sign, correct? This is a number system, number line. On the right hand side of 0, this is basically the plus function, plus numbers, real numbers. Okay, on the left hand side, these are all the negative numbers or negative elements, which is basically imaginary numbers. Okay, if you want to understand imaginary numbers and real numbers, just look at the line here. So now here AB is also positive corresponding to the x-axis, and then AC, this here length will give us the length of AC, and that Y is also positive, and definitely BC, suppose if I consider this point x comma y, x is also positive, y is also positive. Illinda illiಯವರೆಗೆ x length ನೋಡ್ತೀರಾ, ಇಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಮತ್ತೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿಯವರೆಗೆ y length ಅನ್ನು ನೋಡ್ತೀರಾ, they are both positive. Okay, so all the sides are positive. Nonetheless, if you take in any function, they will be positive. But now coming back to the second quadrant, in the second quadrant I'll consider a triangle here also. Why only triangle? Because this is trigonometry, we only study triangles here. Why? Because it is the basic or the smallest figure existing in mathematics. Okay, now ಯಾವುದೇ ವಸ್ತುವನ್ನು ನಾವು ಕಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಹೋದರೆ ಅದು ಫೈನಲಿ ಟ್ರಯಾಂಗಲ್ ಗೆ ಬಂದು ನಿಲ್ಲುತ್ತೆ. We basically keep on imagining guys, number of times you might also have imagined this. ಏನಾಗುವುದು, what happens if we keep on cutting out, if we keep on dividing any particle? Finally it comes to trigonometry if you want to study it in terms of mathematics. Okay, if in terms of physics, that will be taken as a particle. Nonetheless, see, this is a triangle A, B and C. Okay, so if you see here, A, B is on this side, that is on the negative side of x-axis. So AB will be negative, correct? Suppose the length of AB is 5, then we take it to be minus 5. Why? Because it is along, or it lies along the negative side of x-axis. Okay, and then AC is positive because y-axis is on the positive side still, and BC, okay, BC x comma y. Suppose if we consider here x comma y, that will turn out to be something. We'll not focus on that. Just remember, what is the cos function? Cos of theta. Cos of theta is nothing but base divided by hypotenuse, correct? So what is base here? In second quadrant, if you consider a triangle, the base is negative, correct? The base is what? Base is practically negative here. So minus of 4, I'll take the length here to be 4 or 5. So minus of 4 divided by hypotenuse. This hypotenuse will be positive guys. ಇದನ್ನ ನಾವು positive form ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ತಗೊಳ್ತೀವಿ because there are two coordinates here. Okay, so this will turn out to be positive. Okay now. So base upon hypotenuse. Base is negative. What is base? AB negative divided by, suppose hypotenuse is 5, then minus of 4 upon 5. And that applies also for the tan function. That applies also for the tan function. What is tan? Tan is nothing but opposite upon adjacent or base. Opposite AC is positive. And what is base here? Base is negative. Hence the entire answer you are going to get in negative. But in case of sine, what is sine guys? Opposite upon hypotenuse. Opposite is AC here. And if you see, AC is positive because it lies along the positive y-axis. So plus of opposite upon plus of hypotenuse will be plus. So that is the reason why only sine function is positive in the second quadrant. Okay, and then definitely if you consider a triangle here, this will be negative and this will also be negative. So sine and cos function opposite upon hypotenuse. So opposite also is negative. Sine will be negative. Cos is what? Base upon hypotenuse. Base is negative, so cos will also be negative. But if you take tan, what is tan? Opposite upon adjacent. Opposite also negative divided by this. Base or adjacent is also negative. So minus and minus, they both get cancelled out and the entire tan function will be positive. And thus we say in third quadrant only tan is positive. And of course the complementary function, reciprocal of tan, that will also be positive, cot. And here also sine, reciprocal of sine, the complementary function cosecant will also be positive. And once again guys, if you consider a triangle here in this manner, you can take in any triangle. I am just taking this so that you will be able to understand. Suppose this is theta, this side will be negative, so cos is what? Cos is nothing but base upon hypotenuse, hence cos is positive in the fourth quadrant. Okay, so now I think you are able to understand as to why the respective trigonometric functions are taken to be positive and negative in their own region of the quadrants. Okay, so any doubts guys? No doubts, very doubts idre keli. If you are able to understand, then like the video guys. Those whoever is watching on YouTube, if you are not able to understand, if you want me to explain in Kannada or if you want me to explain in some other language, if you need some kind of modification, please let us know in the comment section. Okay, and I hope Miss or sorry, Lakshmi, Kirti or Tia. Okay, I am not really sure who is Miss or Mrs. So please forgive my indulgence. Nonetheless, these are all the basics guys of what trigonometric functions are all about. So then what is remaining? Okay, and then about the sign conventions with respect to angles. Okay, so I'll continue the class on app guys. So those whoever is watching me on YouTube guys, that will be it for today. And do like the video guys if you are able to understand. Join our Telegram channel and join our WhatsApp group. Definitely the link has been given in your description. Be seeing you again guys in the next class. So the classes are being conducted on Rio app, so join in guys for further clarifications for your upcoming PGCET 2024 examination. Okay, that's all for today guys. Be seeing you again in the next class. Up till then, have a great time guys. Take care and bye guys.